Hey guys. Sorry, still got a bit of a cough. I'll know better. I'm just looking at a couple quotes here, guys. Um, I'm thinking of the theme of kindness, as I do quite often. And another guy. Sorry, it's our friend Reverend Terminator. Someone came into the Hey Austin. Someone came into the live stream this morning and asked, "Why should he subscribe to me?" And said, "Convince me." Hey, Nightmare. Which of course I declined to do. It's not for me to convince anyone to subscribe to me. Um, and that's not saying that I don't want subscriptions. However, I don't want to convince anyone to subscribe to me. Um, it just seems to me like I don't know. If I have to convince someone to subscribe to me, then I have to convince them to stay. And if that being the case, then I have to put content out that is pleasing to specific person or specific people, which I can't do. I'm going to be honest with you. I put out content that is exclusively for my own enjoyment, what I love to put out. I do hope people, get some enjoyment out of it. Austin says, "How you doing today, Yogi?" Not bad. Austin, I'm doing better. I still got a bit of a cough, still a little stuffed up, but nothing like it was. Each day's been majorly better. So, hey, Danny. Hey, Tandra. So, yeah, but I would never try to convince someone to subscribe to me, to stay subscribed to me, um, or anything. Let's see. DD, evening yogi and all here. How are you, my friend Donnie? So I was just thinking, if I have a theme of a channel, it is, of course, kindness, and it is forgiveness. And of course, I'll talk about meditation, I'll talk about breath work, but all of those are means of being kind to yourself. Kindness always starts with yourself. If you're not being kind to yourself, then you are excluding someone extremely important to you and extremely important to me, which isn't true kindness. Kindness is all inclusive, doesn't have um, distinctions. I'll be kind to this person because as soon as you find yourself saying because, then you're not practicing true kindness. You're bargaining. Daddy says, absolutely, Yogi. Thank you, Daddy. Um, hey, Daisy. Daisy says, hey, my friend Yogi. Hey, my friend Daisy. So it got me thinking of some of my favorite quotes in kindness, and it's always the same theme. Um, and this is why I like to do things a particular way in live streams. I'd rather be kind than right. That's it. I'd rather be kind than right. Here's a quote from the Buddha. Sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right. We do not need an intelligent mind that speaks, but a patient heart that listens. F. Scott Fitzgerald says, to be kind is more important than to be right. Many times, what people need is not a brilliant mind that speaks, but a special heart that listens. Very similar, almost exactly similar to the Buddha. Proverb 11:17 states that when you're kind to others, you help yourself. But when you're cruel to others, you hurt yourself. And Galileans 5:22, according to the Bible, kindness is one of the fruits of the Spirit, with love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Let's see. Daisy says, well, Austin says, sorry. Every time I'm about to say Daisy said and then Austin said, the chat moves a bit. So I'm going to bring up my desktop. It's easier to read. There we go. Daisy says hi to everyone. And Dottie says, I'm still full of flu. I'm sorry. It took me well over a week, and I'm still not over it completely. Austin says hi to everyone. Danny says, Yogi, I agree with you. 100 to forgive one another. Absolutely. Hey, Weldon Carey. Weld saying hi to everyone. How are you, Weld? Hey, did you guys stop by for our friend Eve's celebration? She is celebrating 4,000 plus subscribers, as well as being fully monetized. I met Eve when I had the opportunity to be on the Sunday service with Goga, which was a pretty awesome experience. And I mentioned that I would teach breath work for free to anyone who wanted it. And Eve took me up on it. It has been practicing ever since and is feeling better and better. Daddy says it's pretty cold here. It's still shivering, cold, and sneaky. Yeah, I had that same experience. Will says, doing good. How are you? I'm doing good. I was under the weather for a week, but managed to emerge. Tanya says I'm in Eve's as well. Yep, I got her up right now. We have the panel up. Boy, does our friend Goga know how to MC a party? Daddy says, well done, Eve. Hey, while we're doing well dones, let's offer a big well done to Dottie. Every single YouTube setback that could happen. And Dottie just kept coming back and coming back. And I remember when she wanted to regain 100 subs. She's at 1.59K. 2025, we're going to get her monetized to help subsidize her road trips. At the very least, we can get you subsidized to pay for some gas, to pay for some on-the-road coffee. The most important thing of any road trip, that first cup of on-the-road coffee. Dottie says, sneezy, I meant. Gotcha. I guess that makes more sense, doesn't it? Danny says, and to be kind to one another. So I just love that statement. I first heard it even before I read The Course in Miracles. Wayne Dyer, 1980s. Given a choice, and we always have a choice, it's more important to choose to be kind than it is to be right. Reason being, in order for you to be right, you very often need to make someone else wrong. You make someone else wrong, and now all they have is resentment. Even if they agree with you, there's still the resentment because how they were made to feel. You can walk away from any discussion, any confrontation, any debate, knowing that you're right without having to make someone wrong. Sometimes I think about that, and I kept that in mind, by the way, when I was parenting my stepdaughter. Doesn't mean that you don't teach what's right, what's wrong. Doesn't mean that you don't set boundaries. However, especially when you become a teenager, every kid is going to test those boundaries. When they test those boundaries, do you make them wrong for doing so? Or do you patiently and kindly, gently explain the consequences of what happens when you cross those borders? Daddy says that would be so cool. That would be so good. And entirely doable. I got some big goals for you guys. I have some big goals. Of course, 2025 has already been officially declared the year of Tundra, but there's room for others to get Dottie monetized. She's already got the subscribers. Now we just work on watch hours. What about you, Weldon Carey? You still with us? What would you like to manifest? What would you like to happen for you in 2025? And how can we help? I know Daisy is trying to get some watch hours, so I try to get to as many live streams as I can, even if I don't have a chance to hang out. If I see her up in the morning, if I'm going to work out, and if I'm going to go for a run or for a walk, I'll put her up and leave her on so I can check back in. Here's what I like about both Tandra's and Daisy's live stream. There's no wrong place to enter. If I leave the room and I come back an hour later, the conversation is just as good. The welcome is just as warm. And it's still a friendly place to be. So there's no wrong, again, there's no wrong place to enter into that conversation. Daisy says, thanks so much for the support. Absolutely. Tundra says, hi, Squirrel. Hey, Squirrel Sniper. Nightmare says, what's your thoughts on the whole Jay-Z situation? I've only saw headlines. I haven't read any articles. So he was accused of, what was it, extramarital affairs? But I think it might have been more, to use a not very often used word, nefarious. Sniper says, festive seasonal greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. It's nice to see Sniper in the mood. Tanya says, thanks, Yogi. Absolutely. Sniper says, nightmare inevitable. I thought that, as far as celebrities go, that Jay-Z was like a good person. Nightmare says, I agree, Squirrel. I seen it coming a mile away. You are who you hang out with. That's interesting to think about. I mean, look who Jesus hung out with. Look who the Buddha hung out with. Bunch of retrobates. Danny's waving a nightmare. I think it can happen two ways. As Gandhi said, you could be the change in which you wish to see, meaning that you could be the one who rises a vibration of any crowd, any situation, any event that you're in, or if you're not quite there, you can be lowered to the vibratory rate of the crowd, especially if you are not prepared, if you're not centered, and it's a crowd that is vibrating at that lower level of violence, mob mentality type stuff. Danny says, everyone happy Friday. Hey, Miss Flipper, how are you? Miss Flipper, how was your trip? Flipper says, rap scene is not what you think. I'll be honest with you. I don't think of it at all. Actually, I have not a single thought on the rap scene. Danny says, Yogi, bless you. Thank you, Danny. Hey, Danny, what about you? Do you have any wishes, desires, anything for your channel? Well, you know what? I shouldn't just talk about channels. Not everyone has an interest in doing the channel. So, what do you want to happen in 2025, and how can we help you? Simply says, Gangster rap is just missing one thing: the knowledge it has an invisible E at the end. Wow, big statement. I'm not disagreeing. I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about it. Let's see. Danny's waving at Miss Flipper. Miss Flipper says, "Trip was fab. Thanks. Happy to see you feeling better." Thanks. I am feeling better. Um, Not 100% yet. Danny says they get more sub. We can help with that. It's one of the reasons that you are a moderator, that you're in blue. Is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Danny? Here's again the only my only thoughts on the thing with Jay Z was he seemed to be on the path. He seemed to be like a good, or at least attempting to be a good or better person. That and Beyonce seems to be a good person, right? By all accounts. Tanja says, Danny, I just subscribed. As did Miss Flipper. Thanks, guys. You on your way, Danny? So, by the way, speaking of celebrations, Jace he filled out his AdSense form. Click the go button. So now he's just waiting for the confirmation. So he has achieved everything he needed to hit that first level. And I suspect end of the month he'll have 4K. He'll have his 4,000 watch hours. Chris Pippa says, just subscribe to Tundra too. Awesome. Tundra is an expert live streamer. She's a looper. Is that an official title? A looper extraordinaire. Some people definitely do it better than others. Tandra's loops are always nice. I enjoy them. Same with Goga. I always enjoy Goga's loops. Tanya says, thank you, Miss Flipper. She's up back. So the reason I started the live stream talking about kindness, because I'm often given the advice or the thoughts. Kindness is great, but you can't be kind to everyone. Or you got to draw a line somewhere. Or we're always asked to make exceptions. Can't be kind to this person because this is what they did to me. Can't be kind to that person because this is what they did to someone else that I know, that I like, that I admire. But as soon as you enter one distinction, it becomes easier and easier and easier to make other distinctions. And then you have exactly what we have now. And don't mean here specifically, but we have a world filled with distinctions. This person is my enemy. This person is my ally. This person is a friend. This person is not. Hey, Vamps. I think yeah, I stand by the policy of deleting a comment or um, timing someone out is of the last resort and should be reserved for like Scroll Sniper, one or two others who um, with Scroll Sniper I feel very in tune. He knows he knows the agenda for the channel, which is again to just be kind. Nightmare says interesting squirrel. Although I can't lie, um, I did always feel like rap music was devil's work. Is that Does that count Dracula, Miss Flipper? Oh, it is. Now I see. Now I see the connection. I was for some reason I was blanking out. Vamp says Eric McCarty. You may share my medical worry in detail. Now that it's not a worry anymore. Um, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. That our friend Goldie shared with me that she had a lump in her breast and was going to be tested, which of course is always a concern for any woman and the loved one, their loved ones. Um, and today, it was supposed to be Tuesday. She was supposed to have to get tested, but it was put off, so it was ended up being today. And the good news is that it is not worst case scenario. It's not even a cancerous scenario at all. It was a mass, like a blood mass that just given medication and it will be reabsorbed, hopefully, back into the body. So it was a crisis averted. I know how worrisome that can be. I've had family members um, and I've had friends who have been through it. Well, just saying hi to everyone. Semper says, let's see, Daisy says, hit the like everyone. Thank you. Those at the top, they love as many groups as possible. Easy to create a frictionless social network, creating chaos. Um, so to one order from their politicians. Yeah, I would agree. Semper says 100% good news. Best Christmas present. Vamps, absolutely. Hey, Mercy. Mercy Wareham is here. Hello, my friend. Hey, Jace. Vamp says, yes, thank you for explaining it so clearly. You're welcome. So for those just coming in, our friend Vamps Goldie is cancer-free, guys. There was a worry, there was a concern. She had it checked out, and she's cancer-free. And as Sniper said, best Christmas present. Mercy says, keep good evening all from Scotland. Good evening to you, Mercy. Hey, Jace. Yep, you're absolutely right. Ring the bell. This is the healing bell. This was a bell used with our friend Heavenly Star. Celebratory bell for health. Jace, I shared your good news as well. Jace has put in his work. I was going to say paperwork, but nothing's paper anymore. Just waiting to hear back from Google AdSense. So basically, with vitamin A and vitamin E, my body will be absorbing back that lump. Let's see. Miss Pippa says, yes, I'd like to hear a bell ring for Vamps too, again and again. So this time, we're going to ring the other bell. This bell, I bought on Amazon. It's a cheap brass bell. Probably costs $2 or less. And I bought it when my father first started becoming incapacitated. So he could ring the bell. He had that sense of knowing that I would be there. Ring the bell. Let me know what you need. I'll be right there. If I am working out, I will put my workout aside and I will be there. If I'm meditating, I will stand up for my meditation and I will be there. My father was always very discreet. He wouldn't ring the bell. Never wanted to bother me. Even when I assured him it was never a bother, he didn't ring it often, but when he needed to. When he passed away, I had the bell, and I could not bring myself to ring it or even move it from where it was. And it sat there until we started doing the bell ringing. And I was doing this one, which was a gift from Mocha. This is a Tibetan meditation bell, and I love it. Probably very expensive because Mocha gives caring, thoughtful, loving presents. But again, this one, $2, and it means the world to me. So I definitely ring that one for my friend Goldie. And Goldie says, thank you for praying. It meant a lot to me. Tanya says, is AdSense for 3K as well as 4K? Once you get AdSense, you're good to go. You still have to put in, I believe, the application. I don't remember. I mentioned to Jace, hey, Brad, ATC is here. What is Good Legends? It was easy for me. I got monetized with the 3K. I don't remember what day. Let's say it was a Monday morning. My hours were there. Tuesday morning, I was monetized. Less than a month later, I had 4K and I was getting ad revenue. The reason why it didn't take long was because I already had AdSense for my blog. My blog has been fully monetized for a number of years. So Google didn't have to do any kind of, process. It basically just quickly reviewed my channel to make sure that I was in line with their monetary guidelines, and then I was set. And I didn't even really get um, with my blog. All I did was write. I hired someone on Fiverr to take care of the monetizing process. Brad says, Tandra, you need AdSense at 3K. That's how you get paid. Hey, Tandra, how's your watch hours right now? Zephyr says, say to Brad. Ramp says, hi to ATC. Tandra says, Yogi, thanks for explaining. Hey, so if someone has a blog, they could try to get, Jason's going to be right back. They could try to start getting monetized now for their blog, and it would be easier for Facebook. Let's see. Danny says, Yogi, it's amazing. Love our toy pups, Selma, and Songhill. Three of our favorite people. Toy pups, Selma, and Songhill. Mercy's still listening. Tandra is at 1,133. That's awesome. That's a big jump. Weren't you at like 1164 or 1064 earlier in the week? And YouTube holds 5 days in reserve. I mentioned before, Tandra is one of the best loopers that I know of. Here's the thing with a good loop, especially if you're, supporting someone, you could put it up. I can put it up and I can start writing my morning writing every morning and have Tandra there. And I can look up and I can see it. I can be inspired. It's pretty cool. You don't want to have a loop that, makes it feel like work. Tandra says, yes, it hasn't gone up in 2 days. Mercy's still listening. Vamp says, how's Milka? Milka is doing pretty good. She's stressed because she's coming up in the finals in school. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so a little stressful time. Hey, Brian. Brian says, Yogi, hello, my friend. Miss Flipper says, I still don't know what looping is. That is, it's like a live stream, but it's not live. You have like a clip. Tandra recommended a minute and a half, and then it just plays over. But you can interact with the chat, writing wise. Jay says, I have to go to the shops. Back soon. We'll be here for a bit. Brian, how's your day going? Mercy says, Miss Flipper, my eyes are tired. Sniper says 5 days, must be around 200 hours, maybe. Yeah, it could be. So let's be conservative. even if it's only 25 hours a day. It's 125 watch hours held in, and again, that's conservative. Tandra's done some multiple loops for extended periods of time. Miss Pippa said a continuous short. Yeah, it's like a continuous short. Let's see. Brian says, I'm in a car with mom's head to South Carolina. My boy has a corrective helmet. Going to see the cranial specialist. Gotcha. How long of a drive is that, Brian? Safe travels, my friend. Well, Mercy says I had 6K views from my screencast today. Now that I don't know what it is. People try to explain it to me. I don't understand screencasts, but 6K views is awesome. I do not know the tricks. Tanya says my analytics say 1,500, but they never match. Hey, Sue, stopping by to say hi. I'm outside doing what I do. Have a good stream, everyone. Thank you, Sue. You know, I was thinking of Sue today because a low-flying airplane just filled up the sky as I was out walking, and I can't see an airplane in the sky. I can't see a buzzard or a vulture or a squirrel or a river without thinking of Sue. And this was a while back. This was maybe a month, maybe 2 months ago on a live stream. Sue said that right now she feels like she's living her best life, doing what she's doing. She's out filming something every day. Nature clips are the things that she loves: train sounds, airplanes, squirrels, birds, the river, Susquehanna, my all-time favorite river. Let's see. Brian says, "How do I see how many watch hours total I have? I have 34 subs now. Woohoo! Thanks to Yogi and the fam. That is awesome, Brian. Is anyone here not subscribed to Brian? 2-hour drive. Be safe, my friend." Ramp says, "Hi, the lovely Sue." Yeah, so it just fills me uh, with joy thinking that Sue is living her best life. And then when I think about uh, wishes, I think that is definitely what I wish for every one of you guys. And what is it? What's your best life? Again, share it and let me know. How can we help? Danny's waving at Brian, as well as Sue. Hey, Selma. Sue says, that would be me. Miss Pepper says, retro what? Did I say retro? Oh, Brian, how to get watch your watch hours. If you go to your channel dashboard and go to analytics, you click on analytics, and you should have your watch hours. If you click on earn, it'll tell you where you are. Goldie says, I just started listening to Christmas carols. Wasn't in the mood before. Yeah, I guess not. It's kind of hard when your mind is preoccupied, but I'm glad that you're in the mood now. Let's see. Sue says there's now a yoga squirrel 2.0. He has half a tail. Well, he's going to have to be extra dexterous, right? Thank you, Brian. Miss Pippa says, you did a ways back, talking about the peeps that followed Buddha or Jesus around. Ah, gotcha. Retrobates is what I said. Jesus certainly did not hang out with highfalutin businessmen, and Buddha did not hang out with the social elites. One of those words. Elites. Sometimes words just escape me, guys. Gramp says, nothing teaches me thankfulness more than getting a scare like mine. So what's my perfect life? The one I live. Beautiful. Beautifully said, Goldie. And what a perfect gift is that realization, you know? Miss Flipper says, retro somethings. Retrobates. That's the right word? Brian says, had to postpone the cold plunge throughout this excursion today. That's okay. The water will be even colder when you get back. Sue says he holds his own. Wonder how he lost his tail. Miss Flipper says hi to just one soon. Retrobates. Yes, retrobates. Sniper sends a link to Vamps, the London Symphony Christmas carols. Nice. Hey, Susan, how are you? Susan says, how are you today? I am good. Repro. I forgot the P. There you go. Thank you. You see, when I was a kid, I used to rely on my mother, who was an English teacher. When I got married, I relied on Mocha, who was a linguist. Mocha would say, you forgot the T. Mercy says, I had depression. It's a horrible feeling every day. I have, since teenage years, maybe even before, light depression through much of my life. Never to the point of some people I know, my mom, for one, would literally be bedridden days at a time. Or in my mom's case, because she worked, wishing she could be bedridden. Reprobates. How come somebody didn't tell me sooner? Susan says, how you doing today? I'm doing pretty good, Susan. Susan, whenever I see you pop up live, I try to get you up and on for some watch hours. And then I try to, when you're done live, to click on a playlist and let something play. I hope you're seeing an increase in your watch hours. I also try to share you out whenever possible. She says a hawk is out there somewhere. I hear a whistle and a blue jay just sending out a warning call. I had your video playing quite a bit, Brian, but not over and over. I think you're getting a lot of legit views because you're putting out some quality stuff. Do you think that hawk maybe caught a little piece of squirrel tail? Squirrel tail? Susan says, thank you for always dropping by to support me and my live. I appreciate it. Absolutely, Susan. I like your channel. I like your live stream. Let's see. Vamp says, Sniper, can you please share the link on your community page? Sue is going back to Critter watching. I don't blame you. Says bye everyone. Enjoy, Sue. Susan says hi to just one Sue. Sniper says to Sue, those jays are a nightmare for hunters out shooting rabbits or squirrels. They are the scaredy cats of all the corvids. I've seen them go after. I've seen them chase away other birds. I've seen them chase hawks away, though. Absolutely, Brian. Susan says, yeah, and I really appreciate it. Happy to. How close are you to your goals, Susan? Bam says also, Squirrel Sniper or Jace, I would love to see the Christmas Carol concert organized by the Princess of Wales. Nice. Excuse me, guys. Sniper says, sure, one sec. Says, I know it only airs on Christmas Day. Brian says he watched a mating pair of cardinals all morning, eating on some seeds to put out. It's such a blessing living amongst the trees. Yeah, I bet. Get quite a few trees here too, but not like you do. Hey, Jamie. What's new, Jamie? Ashutosh says, remember? I certainly do. Bam says hi there to Jamie Brown. And Danny says, Yogi, you were talking about the Susquehanna River. I'm 45 minutes away from Susquehanna River. Awesome. Some of my favorite memories were driving up to Susquehanna River to visit Pennsylvania relatives. As well, one of my very first trail races was along the Susquehanna River in Lancaster County. So, Danny, you're Pennsylvania. Awesome. I was born in Pennsylvania. I was born in Western PA, but my dad's family lived in one of the founding families of the county in Sullivan County. My grandfather was the first forest ranger up there. He actually helped put in place World's End State Park, if you've ever been there. They have a monument for him on top of High Knob Mountain. Brian says Blue Jays are vicious. Yes. Kimmy says side of Vamps. Vamp says hi there, Ashutosh. Austin is back. Welcome back, Austin. Yeah, birds are just fascinating to watch, aren't they? All of them, every single bird. Years ago, I read an essay by John Muir on chickadees and how he was caught. He was in the Sierra Mountains, high up, and he was caught in a spring snowstorm, blizzard, which is pretty dangerous conditions when you're high up in any mountain, let alone the Sierra Mountains. And during the worst of it, a complete whiteout, he heard chickadees, and he stayed there and he watched. He was hunkered down, and chickadees appeared in the sky, not far from him, and they were playing in a blizzard, and it filled him with so much joy. He knew he was going to survive. that if chickadees could play in this blizzard, then he was going to be okay. Oh, Flipper says confirmation from Austin. It is a chipmunk. That little icon, is that a chipmunk? I didn't see any of the. What is Ashutosh? What is he asking? He's retracted the messages. Vamp says, "Let me be clear. I am Christian, Ashutosh. However, Eric will answer for himself." Sniper says, "Vamps posted in your latest video." Austin says, "Vamps, this is my channel. You have not subbed to me." And Vamp says, "Thank you so much, Skull Sniper." Miss Flipper says, "Many ancient cultures use uh, divination with birds." I bet you Sniper knows a bit about that. Sniper says, "Austin, pop to her channel and leave a comment. Easier that way." Oren Theo Messi. I know the meaning. I just can't pronounce it. I like the name. I like that name. Let's see what Squirrel Sniper has to say about that. Miss Pippa says, "Yes, chipmunks have little stripes on their back." Yes, they do. I don't see that many chipmunks around here. Every once in a while. If I go into the city, I see them pretty often. Let's see. Ashutosh says, "I have an Autobot." Nice. What does that do for you? Vamp says she is subscribed to Austin. Here's Jamie's channel. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie, how's your training going? Jamie's got an upcoming live stream. Always enjoy when I can make it to your live streams, Jamie. So, did Ashutosh want to know what my religion was? Which I'm happy to talk about. I'm irreligious. I don't have a religion. Let's see. Tepa says, Orionomancy is an ancient technique that was performed by priestesses called uh, Bacchantes and was respected by Bacchus, the Roman god of wine. He was a fun one. He was one of the fun gods. Really had a hard time tampering down the cult that developed around him. It actually still resurfaces in many ways. Ashita says, "I have one Decepticon. Don't know what that is." She says, "I'm back. Got a takeaway." So, did you need a cart to carry it back? Danny's waving at Ashutosh. Miss Pippa says, also, at Drukons and Egyptians were into it, but originally taken from the Greek. Vamp says, she wanted to know if you were a Christian. Gotcha. But always happy to ask. Miss Pippa says, yes, Sumerians. Jay says, I need to send you a pic. I suspect. Now, this is going to be an American currency. That on Jace's takeout order, that Jace probably spent $600 on his food order. Jace probably spent $600 to get the amount of food that he eats. And Jace is a generous guy, so he probably tipped another $200. So we're talking about an $800 takeouts. Oh, actually, says not like that. I just wanted to start a conversation regarding of your religion. That's fine, anytime. Actually, Touch, you can pretty much ask me anything as long as it is, family friendly. Family friendly-ish. So this is going to be Jace's takeout. Oh, not too bad. So we have fish and chips, right? And then we have some kind of beef sandwich with more chips, or what we would say in America, French fries. I like chips better, actually.
Little kebab burger.
All right, here it is. The narration. I'm going to start it over.
So I pushed the boat out. I thought, yeah, I am hungry. So I've had a little kebab burger, chips, and then a nice piece of cod with chips. A couple of cheaper ones for afterwards. Naughty boy. It's Friday. Yay! So I pushed the boat out. I thought, yeah, I am hungry.
Jace's carryout. He's fueling up for a big event Sunday, by the way. He's going to be training with a fitness icon this Sunday. Should be huge. Astro Trust says, gotcha. Absolutely. Vamp says, really type from Ashutosh. I am from Transylvania, Romania. Sniper says, the spilling of wine and the foreman crates on a silver plate will tell you someone's immediate fate. Ashutosh is from India. And Vamp says, no, Transylvania is not a city, it is a region. Hey, Signature. Greeting, my friends. Thank you for support and thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for your support, Signature. You have been a true friend to me and my channel. Much appreciated. Let's see. Miss Flipper says, Vamps and I are country neighbors, sort of. Vamps, good thing I don't spill my wine on silver plates, Swole Sniper. Good thing I don't have silver plates. Or wine, for that matter. Ashutosh says it's 12:30 at night. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us so late into the evening. Signature says hi to Miss Flipper. Sniper says, you guys call it our crisp chips. Ah, that's the hinge fact, Eric. Gotcha. Bev says, what do you mean, Miss Flipper? So I'm trying to get a map of Europe in my head. So what do we have between Italy and Romania? We have, let's see. It's not too far, right? Sauce says pizza. Yep. Signature says, hi, my friend Squirrel Sniper. Miss Pippa says, Romania neighbor. Says that we are language siblings, not country neighbors. The map says a lot or a plane ride. Hey, Jacob. Miss Pippa said there's Serbia and Croatia between us. Map says depending on the means of transportation. So could you do a ferry and then a drive? Jacob says, hey, Vamp sister. Here, Key J says Ashutosh. Did I get that right? So happy holidays to you, my friend Signature. Oh, driving the distance is over 24 hours. Yeah, so I guess with Italy, you got to drive, well, depending on where you are, you got to drive north and then east. Unless you could take a ferry. Plane ride 2 hours. How feasible is air travel throughout Europe? We got some support, some Jacob love. Thank you, Jacob. All right. So nope, a ferry only to Croatia. You guys will have to help me out on that. I remember it's when I first said I was going to start doing live streaming, or actually when I first said I was doing live streaming, a friend said, "Aren't you worried about mispronouncing stuff live with people watching?" And this was when early. I was like, well, for one, it's only going to be in front of like fours, fives, sixes of people. And no, I'm not worried about mispronouncing something. I decided to, it wasn't even a decision. You go live and be yourself. Everything, all about it. Croatia. Okay. See, that's all I needed. A little bit of help. Thank you, Miss Flipper. This is Crow. Asia Crow. Asia. Crow. Asia Crow or Asia. What's up, Stuart? How you feeling?
I'm getting better.
Good. I saw the message from Wendy. She's on medication.
Wendy's got
Ripken wasn't he?
Wendy's got antibiotics, and I don't need them. I've got my ways and means of dealing with things. Hello, Austin. Sniper, Squirrel, Danny, Vamps.
Yep, Vamp says it's good. My city has international airport, and we're ready just entered the Schengen zone. What is the Schengen zone? So no mandatory checking at borders. Vamp says hi to Stuart. We got some
Hey,
more makeup
Debs.
love. Hey, Debs.
Miss. Hello. Question. What on earth were you trying to read out?
What are you talking about?
Something that Jay's put in. What? Croatia.
Yep. Croatia.
Which is what? Language?
Country. Croatia. I'm getting different ways. Everyone has their own difference. I think they're just doing it to get me to read it. Debs is Slavic, had a 9-letter last name, which was a great way to learn cursive, I bet.
We love you too, Debs.
Azakro. Not Azakro. Azakro.
Croatia.
You say it nice. Croatia. There you go. Yeah. Simple.
It's how it's meant to be spelled. It's Croatia. I mean, I pity anybody from where was that place that goulash is from? Hungary. Hungary? Is it Hungary? Hungary?
Yeah. Hungary. Yeah.
Goulash.
So my
Goulash.
grandmother. My grandmother was Hungarian.
Goulash.
Croatia is, listen to that flow. Croatia is a beautiful country, says Vamps. Deb says there's 169 countries, I believe. Vamp says, of course, we do, Eric McCarty. Vamp says, hi there, lovely Debs.
Well, if there's 169 countries, Scotland is ranked number 1 in the world.
For what?
Scenery.
I could see that. It's a beautiful country.
We have finally beaten New Zealand.
Ashutosh says, vote. Who should win, USA or Russia? Doesn't matter because everyone loses.
Well, depends on what way you look at it.
No winners with.
Well,
depending,
if it was USA versus Russia, that's Rocky 4.
And if it's a soccer game, fine. If it's a boxing match, fine.
It was a boxing match.
But yeah, I'm saying if we're talking about warfare, there's no winner in any warfare.
Shut up, Jace.
Enough.
Well, you don't see the comment that he's put in here. Smack him a dillion. Smack him a dandelion.
Says, was your granny brilliant? She was. I don't know how to describe she was a good person. I love my grandmother.
She knew how to make goulash.
She did. Actually, her mother was an excellent cook. My great grandmother. She was offered to be set up in her own restaurant in Pittsburgh, but my great grandfather didn't want that to happen. Let's see. Jason says Yogi. He meant obscenery. Obscenery. That was funny. Deb says no one wants to
That
war.
wasn't-
Absolutely.
That was downright nasty, Jace.
Sniper says, what about Iceland? I hear Iceland has it's extremely scenic, but it is also the nightclub capital of the world. More nightclubs like per acre than anywhere else.
Scotland can vouch for Iceland to be the second best country in the world.
Ashutosh says cricket. So I don't know my cricket, but being United States, I got to go for the U.S. Well, actually, does the U.S. even have a cricket team?
No.
The Scotland?
Yes.
Are they good?
England does.
You ever played?
Your England, basically your cricket teams would consist of like Sri Lanka, India, Australia,
Right, Africa.
New Zealand,
Some African countries.
some of the African countries. Iceland's not so bare. It's like birds left. Get out of here, please.
Vamp
Pete's sakes.
says, please, 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 goyas is a special traditional potato stew. Each household makes it their own way. We love to overboil ours so it's thick, not soupy. Nice.
Sniper, you're probably onto something with Greenland. Iceland is where Thor comes from.
That's a grocery store.
Thor is Hafthor Bjornsson, who's 6'9", world's strongest man. That
Jacob wants to
man is
know-
a mountain.
Jason wants to know if Jacob wants to know if Jason's still going live. Sniper says, Jason, that's Greenland.
Yeah, it's a cannabis country. Green land.
Right. Deb says everyone needs their big boy shorts and big girl panties when on YouTube, and don't confuse them. Don't confuse them.
Miss Clifford, you definitely know who I'm on about then.
Let people go. Who cares if you got a little ribbing? It's all fun. I promise. Absolutely. Again, just don't confuse your big boy shorts with your big girl panties. And if you
Who
do,
are you on about? Jace or Vamps?
He's on about you.
You can't get on about me. I'm not in this conversation. I'm just wondering who Yogi's on about.
I'm reading Deb's comment. She says everyone needs their
Well,
big boy shorts, big girl panties. I'm just wanting to make sure that you don't accidentally put on someone else's big girl panties when you meant to put on your big boy shorts. That would be embarrassing on a live stream.
Ask
Well,
Jace that question because he puts on his pink girl panties every time he goes on YouTube. Hi.
Jay says Iceland only has birds and deer. I lived there. Did you? You lived in Iceland. That's awesome. Well,
There's
and
plenty
clubs
good fishing
and
in Iceland
nightclubs. Miss Pippa says
Plenty.
Thor is stronger than Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
Ashutosh says
Yogi, have you ever seen Thor?
the movie.
No. I'm on
The
about half the
athlete.
beyond. Have you ever seen him?
I haven't.
He is a mountain
I
of
bet.
muscle. He's like the gay blend of a shih tzus.
Hey. Yeah.
That's the
Ashutosh
only way.
says
That's the only way you can put people like that.
Not really.
He is a gable end of a hoose.
Thor was defeated by Kratos.
Mm-mm.
In the movie or in real life or in myth.
Oh, we're about Hafthor Bjornsson, the world's strongest man.
Ashutosh says yes, the team was newly made. So we do have USA team. We do have a cricket team, brand new, and we're playing Russia. So hey, let's go US.
Eddie Hall's only won the world's strongest man once.
We got a thumbs up from Debs. It's a grocery store in your part of the world. What is Vamps?
Probably Iceland.
Greenland is the one with ice. Just Squirrel Snapper. Iceland is beautiful. It's a haven for many wizards looking for a retirement home. Nice.
Eddie Hall's a legend in his own way, but I mean, I prefer Thor.
Vamp says different myths. Oh, Vamp says Wendy said it about Iceland being a store.
Yeah, it's a great shop.
Is it?
Now, don't quote me on this, but I've got a fact here, Yogi, and you can't deny a fact.
Oh, here we go again.
You can have sex in Iceland, but I don't know about Wawa. Their rules might be different.
Say that again.
It's a UK joke, actually. You can have sex in Iceland, but I don't know about Wawa. Their rules might be different.
I'm not getting the last part. You can have sex in Iceland.
Hmm. I don't know about Wawa though. Their rules might be different. There's a shop across here called Iceland.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, the Wawa. How do you guys know about Wawa? How do you guys know about Wawa?
Because we all know about Wawa.
Do you? Because we don't have any around here. We used to.
We've been in a Wawa. We've been in a Wawa. We've been in Walmart. We've been in what do you call it? Hebs.
7-Eleven.
Haven't been in one of them yet.
Been in Cabela's.
We've been in Cabela's.
Bucky's.
Trying to think who else? What's that shop that was in New Jersey? So
See.
it was a food market.
Jacob says Brian Shaw is his favorite.
It was really interesting.
And Vamp says Russia is playing, or the United States is playing Russia again. I guess so. In cricket, Kali rocks. Is Kali a cricket player? Vamp says they always play each other.
So I don't know.
Sniper says Iceland is just frozen processed food, from what I can make of it.
Iceland's
says,
more than just a processed food place for frozen foods.
Was that family friendly? I think it depends on your family, Ashitosh. Excuse me, guys. Jay says this stream tonight. Jacob got a big feed. Fueling up. Jacob, you know Jace and Jesse are doing a collab together? Miss Pippa says, does USA still have people's drugs? I haven't seen one in a long time. We have Rite Aids, Walgreens. Jace says Brian Shaw and Eddie are due to arm wrestle soon. They're best mates too. Arm wrestling is a brutal sport.
I remember when Eddie Hall and what do you call his face? Thor were in a boxing match.
Interesting.
And Thor put Eddie on his bum.
Sniper says, if you're the son of the mafiosa, please be gentle. Brian's at the doctor's office in and out of chat. Gotcha. Hey, sending prayers your way, Brian. You and your family. Brian says, heck yeah, I want to see some arm wrestling.
Let's see if that better? Can everybody hear me now?
Good.
Without any echo.
Nope, no echo.
Good.
Jacob says that's right. Jace, I thought that was Sunday. It is Sunday. Miss Flipper says I was a translator for a basketball player named Brian Shaw for the Boston Celtics. Nice. Here's a question. Why isn't it the Boston Celtics? Should be.
Because of Celtics.
Right, but it should be the Celtics.
No,
Celtic
because we
just
got
said-
Celtic. We got Celtic Football Club across here.
But it's properly pronounced Celtic, right?
Nope.
I thought it was.
Celtic Football Club.
No, but I mean, the Celtic is the proper pronunciation.
You've got Celtic and you've got Celtic.
What's the difference besides a C and a K?
No, both of them use the C word. A Celt is with a K isn't a spawned out fish. A spawned out salmon.
I
That's a
don't think.
Celt.
Right, I don't think our. Jay says you are correct, Yogi.
You're not correct.
Jay says I'm correct.
No,
all I know.
he's not. He's not.
No,
He-
Jay,
when
Jace-
do you ever listen? When do you ever listen to Jace?
when he tells me I'm
When
correct,
do you?
when he tells me I'm correct,
Yeah.
Miss Flipper will know.
Uh, I reckon.
Jay says
Get out
when
of here, Jace. Stop it. You're corrupting him.
Miss Flipper
See,
says he was.
and plus, listen to this. I am not going to sit here and take anything from a person that's in Birmingham.
You know, Birmingham has more canals
Birmingham.
than Venice. Did you know that?
Birmingham in England has got more. You try to tell me that Birmingham has got more canals than Venice?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So that's more places for Jace to get a wash.
Now, how did he flip that around?
Because every watering hole that's in Birmingham,
That's where Dorian Yates was from. Mr. Olympia.
who? Arnold
Maybe-
Schwarzenegger.
Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates was probably my favorite bodybuilder from Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Indian
Are
education
you on about a
system.
Birmingham? Are you on about a Birmingham in England or a Birmingham across the pond?
England has more canals than Venice. Jason can back me up on this. Ashutosh says Indian education system is worse. Is it? I didn't think it was that bad. Miss Flipper says he was brought in by
I'm okay, Austin.
Miss Aguero Italian team. Was just here for a year. I had a friend that when he finally got cut as a pro basketball player in the U.S., he went to the European League and he played in Italy for quite some time. Vamp says, okay, kiddos, stop arguing.
Who's arguing? I don't
Yeah,
like arguing. I like that. I like to have discussion.
Is it really
Who's
arguing
on
when
about
you're?
arguing?
Is it really arguing when you're correct?
Well, I know for a fact I'm right.
And I know the first thing I talked about was in this conversation today that it's better to be kind than it is to be right. So, with that being
Well,
said,
just you be kind then, Yogi. Just
That's
you
what-
sit
that's
there
what
and
I'm
be
saying.
kind.
that's what I'm going to say. So, I'm being kind. Of course, you are right, Stuart.
Exactly.
Absolutely, 100%. Sniper. Sniper knows here. The Celts. Now, are you saying the Celts or the Celts? Or warriors, traders, and metalworkers?
Right.
She spoke
That part is Celts.
I didn't know
that
they
made the
originated
real-
in Switzerland.
That's when they came across the Scot. They were the ones that came across here. But they settled. The Romans tried to come across here and couldn't defeat Scotland. They hightailed it and went back down south.
So, which is which, Sniper? The Celt is a polished stone axe, or as had used in the New Stone Age. Cuts were attached to wooden shafts and used for felling trees and for shaping wood. Ashitosh says, "What is the logo behind him?"
I don't know what logo is behind who.
Behind you. I got nothing but books behind me.
Other logos.
No.
You got to have that logo on the side and read what they say or what it's about.
That's a title. There's a
That's the
difference.
logo. The
No.
logo.
You got a logo behind you.
That's not a logo. That's a flag. That's a flag of Canada, people. That's the national lion of Canada.
Sniper says that's different. But which is which? Which one is the with the K pronunciation? Which one is with the C? Which is a Celt and which is a Celt?
Right, Jace. Please remove that comment because that is false information.
He says it's a fact.
That's not a fact. It's not an English lion. There is not way in this day and age that it was classified as an English lion. That's a Scottish lion. The 3 lions that's on a shirt ain't no football. They go coming home no more.
Jay says that's a whole 15 minutes of teaching. Great job, Yogi. Vamps is laughing. Eric McCarty. It's an English line. It's an English line.
It's not an English lion. Can you remove that comment, please, Yogi? That's offending me.
Is it really offending you?
Yeah, it is. Jay should know better.
I've never removed the comment before.
English lion. How dare you?
I don't
The
want to make
Scottish lion. Scottish lion.
Now here's a question, and I don't mean this to sound offensive. Let's say tribally speaking, is there a difference between English, Scottish, and Irish?
Yes, there is.
I'm not talking about, and I mean this seriously, and I don't mean it to be offensive. I'm talking about like tribally and not nationally. Did they originate from the same tribe and then just diversed, or is it 3 distinct peoples, 3 distinct tribes? That's what I mean. So, like I said, I mean historically. I'm not trying to be funny about it.
The Irish and Scots came together because of back in the day, even before the days of William Wallace. The 800 years that Ireland suffered at the hands of the Crown, being England, they came
So,
to Scotland. They came to Scotland and asked for help. We said, we'll help you.
but I'm talking about way before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how it all happened. We had our own little. In Scotland, right? There's places of like birthplaces that go with your last name,
Right, McCarty's.
right? They're on there with their own tartan, but there's certain parts of Scotland where you're actually originated from.
So, but at one point, there was no one in that area. There was no one in Ireland. There was no one in Scotland. There was no one in
The
England.
McDonald's came from up north, right? The McDonald's came from the northwest part of Scotland.
But before
Roughly,
there was even such a thing as a McDonald, when it was all just tribal people diversifying, spreading
well,
out.
you had the Picts and the Celts. You had the Picts and Celts.
Right.
They had that era.
Before them, I'm talking prehistory.
We can't get prehistory.
I don't know. I mean, is there a relation between, as it used to be one tribe that just spread out and diversified? England, Scotland, Ireland. Are they of the same origin? And then they became their own separate entities. Or
Well, the
were
thing
they
is,
always or
well,
were they
before,
always
if you're on
separate
about that
entities?
part, if you're on about that part, you've got St Andrew's Day, which is Scotland's. Well, St Andrew himself was the brother of Jesus. Andrew was Jesus' brother. David, who's you got St David's Day in England. He had something to do with Jesus
So
back in the heyday. Same with Patrick. I can't remember the Day of Wales. I can't remember who Wales is.
like, were there indigenous people in Scotland before the Scottish arrived?
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
They're called Scots.
But that would be, I'm talking about before the Scottish arrived.
Well, you got Celts, probably Vikings coming from. Oh, come on! What kind of question is that to give me? Stuart, Celtic or Sevco? Come on! There's only one team there.
So the Scots, this
Who-
is
who-
Who's asking that ridiculous question?
Wikipedia.
Songo. Wales owned most of the UK for many moons before Scotland was created. I would rather have a Welsh country than an English one.
Let's see. Ashtat says he's from Canada, Yogi. He's from Scotland. Miss Pippa says unicorn, national animal of Scotland.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Miss
Our
Pippa says
national animal
Scottish
is
Rams.
our national animal is the unicorn.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. Songo says Stuart, Celtic or Rangers.
Celtic. I'm
Ram
a
says
green and
Andrew.
white. I am a green and white boy. And Wendy is a green and white girl. We will
Ram,
never, ever, ever support our enemy. Ever.
Ram says Andrew, one of the apostles, not a brother or Jesus. One of the apostles. Jay says it went from England all over the globe, Eric. Same as the French and the Portuguese. So here's the funny thing. Mocha had my DNA tested.
Well, this will be
So-
interesting.
almost like 99% Scandinavian. Like 99 some percent, and then some spatter.
Well,
of some other stuff.
there you go then. So basically, you are a Viking.
But you know, my family, the McCarty, Scotch Irish, which basically means that I come from people who were taken over, forcefully so, by Vikings. My ancestors were Vikings that came by and had their way with Scottish women, and on down the line. I don't know how the Hungarian fit in, as a quarter Hungarian.
Because the goulash.
The goulash. That explains everything. Let's see. Ashley Suss says, respectively, we call on another guest because this guy is pretty good. Compliment.
Well, thank you very much.
Sniper says, I would say, Eric, the UK is much older than anyone thinks. Got you. I thought that you might say that, Sniper.
I'm just talking sense, Brian. That's the problem with Yogi's brain. It's full of Hungarian goulash.
Miss Pippa says, what happened to Hungarian Danny? That's what I want to know. Where does the Hungarian fit? If my DNA is like the majority of Scandinavian.
Well, Scandinavian. It's a big place.
It is.
So you've got Norway, Finland, Denmark.
But you don't have Hungary.
So maybe your mother went to one of these three places. Well, in fact, you've got four. You've got Sweden too. Forgot about Sweden.
Let's see. Brian
Norway,
is
Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark. There's your Scandinavian countries. You could classify Scotland as one too.
Brian is cheering on Hungarian goulash. Says he lived in Poland for 2 years and got to eat some seriously good food. And Vamp says, Eric McCarty, do you remember me telling you that Hungarian and Finnish have it up? I do remember now. I didn't before. Hungarian and
See?
Finnish have the same origin. Explains it all.
I mean, I still say that Mika Hakkinen's the best motor racer out there.
Sniper says St. Michael and St. George are one and the same. Songa says, Vamps, I heard that too. They're a bit related. Gotcha. Yeah, I had forgotten that, Goldie, because we had this conversation. All right. I'm going to have to wrap things up in just a minute. Thanks
yeah.
to our...
That's that wraps up your DNA.
We can call this episode the history of life, the history of the world according to Stuart, with side notes by Jace
Well, wait a minute here.
and Sniper.
So what's going to happen in 2 years' time? You'll be 250 years old, Yogi.
Jace says, "Fun facts with Stu." That could be the name of this episode. Fun facts with Stu, with side notes from Sniper and Jace, and Vamps and Miss Flipper. Actually, all of you guys.
America's only 250 years, well, 248 years old at the moment.
Well, America, but
Yeah.
the land
America.
itself. You know,
We gave you good English. Well, the English gave you good English.
I was gonna say you didn't,
The English gave you good English.
right?
And you can't understand us.
I can don't take this the wrong way. I can understand Jace just fine. He has a good, proper English accent. I don't mean that. The Scottish, the brogue, 90%. I understand 90%. But as did I say that right? Brogue? When it thickens, that's when I lose it. But 90%, I get about 90%.
Cheers, Brian. Thank you.
Brian says, and I said he just fine.
So it's Yogi's brain that's full of goulash. It's full of goulash and understands nothing.
I will pit my goulash against your haggis, and
And my haggis will be
we'll see which one emerges victorious. Miss
of
Pippa
your
says,
haggis.
fun facts with goulash. Ashutosh says, I have attended thousands of live streams, Duty. Your stream feel different. It feels like home. Well, thank you, Ashutosh. That's what we hope for. So basically, you got two uncles bickering over goulash and haggis. I bet I'll tell you what. If I were to invite,
Haggis wins hands down.
Brian says, yeah, about 90%.
Haggis wins hands down.
Bam says, I read and write and speak Hungarian. Yes, she does.
I mean,
Just says, dagnammit. But here's the thing. This will be the last thing that I'll offer. If I were to invite everyone in the chat over for a big bowl of my grandmother's and my great grandmother's goulash, they would be beating the doors down to get here. If you were to invite people over for a big bowl of your grandmother or great grandmother's haggis, people would be like, well, Stuart, I'd like to go, but I got to walk my dog. I'm washing my hair tonight.
Nonsense.
There'd be all kinds of excuses.
Nonsense.
If I think about it,
Because you got haggis, sneeps and ties. So you got your vegetables on the side of the haggis.
So I could skip the haggis and just eat the vegetables, is what you're saying. I appreciate that.
Jason says he has a beard to grow.
Let's see. Brian says great grandparents off the boat. My mother's maiden name is Helsinki, so Polish. So, real quick, would you guys rather come over and join me in some goulash, or you want to head on over and have some haggis with Stuart? Maybe I'll do a poll tonight, and we'll see what people want to do.
Fine.
Bam says I would
happily
take a
settle
pass,
that.
but I will cook the goulash. So there we go. Who's going to cook the? Do you cook your own haggis? Does Wendy cook the haggis?
I cook the haggis. I'm the chef.
So you can come on over and have a big bowl of haggis that's cooked by Goldie, or some haggis, some goulash by Goldie, or some haggis by Stuart. Jacob says, do the poll now, please. All right, got to be quick. Give me 1 second.
You don't need to be quick. We'll draw this out.
I got some stuff to do. How do you spell haggis? Is it 2 G's? Or one?
Yeah, there's 2 G's. It's
And
not haggis,
IS.
it's a haggis. Call it
checking.
haggis.
I'm just checking. So, haggis with Stuart is yes. I want to get the goulash spelled right according to Goldie.
Goulash.
I can't do the little accented thing, Goldie. I apologize.
Everybody will know what you're on about. Goulash is goulash. Well, you can have it as in Gulyas, but I know it as Goulash.
Out of respect for Goldie, I wanted to have it as correct as I could type it. This says only 44 likes. 50-50. See, I can't vote in my own poll, so you get to vote. It hardly seems fair.
I don't even know where the poll is.
You should be able to see it. Ryan says so much history and food overseas and overall better ingredients. I agree.
We've got the best ingredients. We grow our own.
Much love and respect to you, Jacob. Miss Pippa says agree with Jace. Brian says I would say
Best Dragon's voice. I'm out. That
would
sounds
say-
like a Duncan Ballantyne and call him.
10 votes already, man. Brian says I would say Yogi. Sorry, but we would be schooled by Sword on the food tip.
Give me a I'm going to jump down for 2 seconds. I'm going to have a look at this. I'll be straight back up. I'm the
You're gonna go to all your other channels, and we know what Sword's gonna do. Songho drops some. Is that Hungarian? Let's see. Simpa says, Ashutosh, if you have been to many streams, you must check out Archaic for some interesting knowledge. So you know what Swort's going to do. He's stacking the deck in his favor. Sniper says, in my best dragon voice, I'm out. Jay says, in my best Simon Cowell voice, it's a no. Look at Stewart stacking the deck.
Voted once.
Ashutosh
And
says,
then
well,
that's in my
time,
favour.
the wheel of time is the most
69%
knowledgeable
said
thing.
they want to have haggis with me.
Bam says, in Hungarian, it's spelled Goyas, Stewart.
Hello, Joe Delaney.
Skits is dropping his new song soon. Awesome, Skits.
Off he goes. 71% now saying haggis with me.
You stacked the deck.
I did not stack no deck. I
17
voted
votes.
once.
We have 17
I
people
voted-
here in the chat.
Yeah, and I didn't go through all of them. I only did it once.
You only did it once, but what about your other accounts?
Nah, only once. I'm not that quick.
Bamp says 50-50. Bamp says, yes,
Hey.
Eric McCarty, it's thank you in Hungarian. Nice.
How many votes is that now? 20 votes.
With 15
yeah.
people. With 15 people in the chat.
20
It says,
votes.
what's going on? We're having the usual haggis versus goulash debate that's been going on for centuries.
And haggis tops it all. You can shut down your poll, Yogi. You're not coming back from that nonsense. There's no way.
Hey, Joe. So, Skits, would you rather have a
Hey,
bowl of
Sean.
haggis? Do you even serve haggis in a bowl? Or is it like
I'll
on
put haggis. I'll
on
put
bread?
haggis
You
in a
make-
bowl, and you can have your bannocks and your tatties, and
so you can make like a
your,
sandwich, haggis sandwich?
you can have a haggis sandwich if you want. All right.
Travel and Foods, says Eric. So Travel and Foods should know, right? What would you prefer, haggis or goulash?
Poll says haggis with me. Don't like goulash.
You ever had it?
I've seen it. Looked rank.
You've seen it. I don't like goulash. I've seen it, and I don't like it. Let's see. Austin is streaming right now. Awesome, Austin. I will visit. Songa says, Yogi, that's your Hungarian blood. You immediately noticed it was Hungarian.
Haggis is like scrapple,
Which is
and
enough.
everybody and I know that most people love a scrapple.
Deb says, I just got back from the shower and no idea what his food is. Hungarian goulash. Atchusau says, my friend got shot in gang violence and he survived after doing innocent.
25 votes now, Yogi.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that. 14 people in the chat and 24 votes.
I'm not doing that.
And
I
you get-
can't come out of the. They love me.
Let's see. Skit says, Eric, I just want to let you know that my song is massively inspired by you, Eric. The title You Tried is something I've heard you say. Made a nice meaning for a song. That's awesome. How soon, Skits? How soon till we see it? Deb says I made a kick-ass goulash. And Skit says, P.S. I won't be eating haggis. Ew. Did you
You
vote,
take what's good
Skits?
for you, Sean. You take what you get. You take what you're missing out on. So
I think it probably does. Deb says what scrapple is why I don't eat it. I agree with that. Funga says all this talk about food is hungry now, but we were only talking about we were talking about food because we were talking about haggis.
well, because haggis is a delicacy.
Once again, I'm going to go by my standby. It's
The
rather
only
to be.
reason
it's-
being that you
it's-
the only reason being that you like goulash is because it's full of vegetables, and there's no sign of meat.
Now, I'm not sure if Goldie would agree with that. I'm not sure if Goldie would agree with that. Next time we'll have to put in chicken paprikash, another great Hungarian dish.
Sounds nice. I'd eat that because it's got chicken in it, but it will not beat a haggis.
Not with you stacking the polls, it won't.
I'm not stacking no poll. I only voted once.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that there's. We're gonna go back to.
You can go back through this live stream. I jumped down, I voted, I tried to find out where the poll was. I thought it was on community page. I came back, seen it was in chat, voted once, and came straight back up.
The next poll tonight is going to be, do you buy Stuart's alibi? And we'll see what people say. And Scrap Chat says, hey, Ann, you didn't give an option for none of the above.
My goulash, meat, cheese, noodles.
Skits is
How
writing
about
the spreadsheet
venison
right now.
to add? Listen, Anne, you can add venison to that as well because venison and haggis are best of friends. If I had a
Let's see, Deb
grinder,
says-
I would make my own haggis.
Is anyone 10 degrees out like I am? It's pretty cold here, but not that cold. Miss Pepper says 16 watching and 30 votes. And we don't think there's some type of shenanigans going on there. Jace says, Yogi, I can tell Stewie is lying because his lips are moving.
In what way?
Who'd you vote for,
Debs
Debs? Jace says, Squirrel says Jace, and that's Scotland blank. 34 votes. 16 people in the chat. 35.
Somebody's got multiple accounts and it ain't me. I've only voted once.
I can't believe there is.
So that's other
I can't
people that
believe
have got.
I can't believe that 74% of any population would vote for haggis outside of your room that you're in right now.
Because Scotland is a more multicultural country than what you think, Yogi.
Let me is Wendy still there?
Yeah, she's here.
Wendy, what would you rather have? Haggis or
It's like
goulash?
this.
Hello.
Would you rather have goulash or haggis?
Both. So like both.
Okay. That's a fair answer. Songo has to go now. We're gonna go too in just a minute. Bam says, "Who on earth told you that goulash doesn't have meat?" And she knows.
I thought goulash was more vegetable based things. What meat's in it?
Let's see. It has at least pork and smoked sausage. That's a game
Least
changer.
pork and
Look at Stuart's face. All of a sudden, he's realizing what an awful mistake he's made. He could have been eating.
You're right. Listen, I'd rather take haggis any day over goulash.
Let's see. Jay says 1-800 Porky Pie. Porky Pies.
1-800 porky. I'll give you 1-800 porky pies. You
Goulash
said
is
to my
made from
face, Jay.
anything, I think.
I'd break you.
Might even have lamb in it. The Ann says goulash definitely has meat. Deb
I
says
still
goulash,
prefer
I
my
think
haggis.
pasta, sauce, and meat mixed all together.
I still prefer haggis because you're having neeps and tatties to go along with a bannock. A bannock is an oatcake.
Sniper says an awfully funny haggis joke there, Eric. Deb says I use ground beef. Like I said, all of a sudden now Stuart is realizing I've made a horrible mistake my entire life. I could have been eating goulash.
Get out of here. No, there's nothing wrong with haggis.
And uses venison and sausage. Look at that, Stuart. Stuart's
Yeah,
like,
but
oh man.
but the thing is, I can use venison and make it into haggis. I could have a venison and a haggis.
But you could have something better. You could have
No,
venison
there's
and
nothing
sausage
going to be.
goulash.
There's nothing better than haggis and venison on the same plate.
What do you season your haggis with? More haggis?
Pepper.
Paprika.
Pepper.
I'm talking about goulash, paprika, and pepper. Two spices to your one.
You just asked me what I season haggis with. I said pepper and a pinch of salt.
Deb says you eat head cheese too. Head cheese made with brains. My dad used to like head cheese.
That just sounds so wrong.
Yeah,
Head cheese. That's
it's made out of brain. Literally made out of head.
Nope.
Bam says, as I said, every household makes it differently.
See, this is the thing with the English. I'm not being stupid here, but they do make a thing called faggots.
Okay.
And
Bam says laughing. See,
even
Ann
the
says
look
that
of
sounds bland. Salt and pepper.
It's
So here's my recipe for haggis: various meat parts, salt, and pepper.
mm-hmm.
Various meat parts.
But you're encasing it inside the lining of the stomach.
Yeah, that sounds appetizing. Man, give me some good stomach lining any day of the week. I was going to have stomach lining for breakfast this morning, and I can't believe I skipped it. And I had oatmeal instead. Hey, Murray.
Well, there's oatmeal inside haggis.
Do you put oatmeal in haggis?
Mm-hmm. It's got to be there.
Nice. That's one thing positive for it. I will give it that. Miss Pippa says, agreed. Does sound bland.
It's
Nice.
not bland. It's
Haggis
beautiful.
Haggis is seasoned with finely chopped leftover haggis. That was funny, Cypher. Hey, Toy Pups.
You know something? I just realised that you've got more English people in your chat than Scottish.
That's true. But not all the
Racist.
time. Not all the time because
Racist.
Nightmare shows up.
Anti-Scottish people.
Hi, Marie. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Anne says, now, okay, now you're making stuff up, Stuart.
That's the same one.
Miss Pepper says she's joking. Or Anne says joking. Pepper says, my dog loves his bowl of tripe. He adores it. You ever had tripe?
I don't like tripe.
Toy Pup says she's
I
sick
know what
too.
it
I'm
is,
sorry.
and I will never ever eat it.
So, paprika, pepper. And since we said it's going to be Goldie making the goulash, paprika, pepper, carrots, onions, obviously potatoes. Yep. Sausage, pork, nukrali. It's a special pasta made for goulash. Versus stomach lining and various meat parts, seasoned with pepper and salt. And you guys seriously voted 74
I'll take a
stomach-
victory.
for stomach
I'll
lining.
take a victory. I'll take a victory. All by myself, I'll take a victory. I only voted once, and it was this your chat that came in because you got 51 thumbinos.
Let's see. Marie says she's going to eat spicy noodles for lunch. That sounds good. The Sniper says vamps and plenty of love and care and attention. Versus haggis, just throwing things in stomach lining.
But it's damn tasty.
Open stomach lining, insert meat parts. Jay says desperate measures. Vamp says Stuart haggis sounds like what is that? Anne says rigged. Thank you, Anne.
It's not rigged.
So
I
here's
only
my
voted
recipe.
once.
Here's my haggis recipe. Open stomach lining, insert meat parts, eat meat parts. Sprinkle with pepper and salt. And then we have our recipe for goulash. Paprika, pepper, carrots, onions, obviously potatoes, sausage, pork, nukrali, which I don't know what it is. The pasta, special pasta made for goulash. Oh, did I forget the stomach lining? Nope, sorry, it's not in there.
Right.
However,
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go to the shop. You give up this live stream, and I'm going to go to Lidl, and I'm going to show you what's inside the haggis.
that's scary. But okay, we can do that. Marie says, ooh, did you just say stomach lining? I did just say stomach lining.
There is nothing wrong with haggis.
You know what? I'm going to agree. There is nothing wrong with haggis. What you like is absolutely, in all seriousness, I would never deny anything that someone likes. I mentioned my father liked head cheese. If that's what he wanted, people used to ask me, how can you cook stuff for your father when you're a vegan? The answer was because my father asked for it. As my friend, if you like haggis, I support you like for haggis. I obviously wouldn't eat it. You can see how easy it would be to veganize.
Yeah, because you're a vegetarian. Well, you're a vegan.
Right.
You're
You
a
can see-
vegan. You wouldn't touch it. And so
Bushka says, I want my vote back so I can vote for haggis. Sniper says, the stock account won the meat stock of haggis. Marie says, that's disgusting.
I'll take
Yeah.
a victory. I mean, let's say I'll take a victory. Said that already.
Miss Pipper says, inside the haggis sounds like a true crime title. Marie says, I would rather eat raw caviar than haggis.
I've had caviar.
I'm not sure I ever had caviar. It's pretty salty, isn't
I've
it?
had caviar. It's pretty salty. but it's damn delicious. Still doesn't beat haggis.
You're the first. I've talked to other Scottish people.
What do you mean
before.
try not to laugh? I haven't even done nothing. I'm just reading chat.
Marie says caviar is
Speaking of
best seafood I
seafood,
ever tasted. It's from the
it's not
sea.
seafood.
It's
No,
from the
it's
sea.
not. No,
Where's
it's
it from?
not. Mm-mm.
Jay says I'm voting for Susan
Caviar.
Hopkins.
Caviar is from sturgeon eggs.
Where do surgeons come from?
Well, fresh water. I've never seen a sturgeon in salt water. I've always known sturgeon to be in fresh
Okay.
water.
That makes sense. You want to know? I got a really good caviar recipe. If you want to hear.
Good,
Take
Jace.
caviar.
Thank you. About time you said something. That's the most popular and most understanding thing that I've ever seen you say.
And says, "See, he just busted a laugh." So here's my favorite way to eat caviar. Take some caviar, open up some stomach lining, throw it in the stomach lining, tie a knot, put some salt and pepper on it, and then eat the
It
caviar.
doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, Yogi. It doesn't work that way.
That is the best way to eat caviar.
You know something, Jace? I hope Scotland gets its independence. I'm going to build Hadrian's Wall so you can't even climb over it.
Hey, Stuart, enough.
Vamp says I could have played dirty, but I chose to vote with only one. Vamps. I couldn't vote at all.
I could,
Left out of my
and I
own
did
poll.
with one account, and that's my Stuart the Fish Whisperer account. The
Vamp
rest of them
says
came from elsewhere.
Eric McCarty, you were being silly. So who'd you ask to vote for you?
Hmm?
Who did you ask to vote for you?
Didn't ask anybody. I let
We'll see.
chat decide. I let chat decide for itself. And you'll
see.
find out that. Do you know that the highest lake in South America is freshwater with sharks?
Actually, did
You
know
can
that.
believe that.
And it says, Stuart, quit looking so serious and smile. You know you're having fun.
I am smiling because I've won this. And I didn't even need to do anything. Just shows you. Hey, Hunter. It just shows you that people love Scotland more than Hungarians. It's the way I look at it.
Because you're Scottish.
Exactly.
Everyone loves Hungarians. Hungarians are the most lovable people in the world.
We're ranked the best country in the world.
Hungry? And says, you won
Scotland.
nothing. Nothing. Carl says, good evening, everyone. Anne's laughing. Hey, here's at the very least. We have some people who aren't feeling very well. I hope our conversation has made you guys laugh. That's my one wish. If Stuart and I were able to make you laugh in any way, then
I think I know who's. Well, let's say I can only hazard a guess at who voted for me. And it's the same person that gives you all the likes. And I think it's Jacob.
Jacob can't be.
Telling you.
Nah, Jacob would never eat. Jacob would never eat haggis.
Next time he comes in the chat, ask him.
Here's what I'm going to do. Next time Jacob comes in, I'm going to ask him to smile. And if I see a piece of stomach lining stuck between his teeth, then we know. Then we know this the truth. Sniper says, let's do this later. Let Scotland lick their wounds.
Sounds on the like low wounds.
Vamp says, many people don't know where Hungary is. Marie says she actually voted haggis. You owe Maria. Marie's
Carl even voted haggis.
Carl voted for haggis too. Deb says, you made me
Thank you,
smile. I'm
Marie.
good with that.
And Carl. It's nice to see that I've got friends.
Haggis has friends.
Actually, I've got friends.
Vamp says, Brother Jacob, I'm sorry you got trapped in this. Me too. Deb says, you made me smile. I'm good with that. Then mission accomplished.
Well, thank you, Mary. Read that comment, Yogi.
I refuse to.
I'll read it for you then. I hate haggis, but I'll vote for it because Stuart is a very nice guy.
Is that what that says?
I'm a very nice guy.
Okay, I don't have my reading glasses on. These glasses are just for show. They're show glasses. You sure that's what that says? Carl's eating back pudding now.
Vamps, I don't have no mortal enemies.
Miss Pippa says, not sorry, I voted for goulash. Thank you. Skit says, if anyone listens, thanks in advance. Oh, Skits, I'm on my way there. Marie says, Yogi looks so annoyed at my comment. She's laughing. Marie says, it does say that Stuart said, Yogi. I still can't make it out.
I'll reread it. I'll sink in.
That's okay.
I
gotta go.
hate haggis, but I vote for it because Stuart is a very nice guy.
All right. Key note: she hates haggis. I agree.
But she likes me.
I like you too. Stuart is a nice guy. Can't lie. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that even a little bit. Stuart is a very nice guy. One of my favorite people in the world. Horrible dietary taste.
Now you're just trying to soak up.
But he's completely
Well,
wrong about the
thank
haggis.
you. That's even better. She's the fan of the beard.
She could be talking about my beard.
No, she's definitely said my name there, Yogi. Look at it. I'm a fan of Stuart's beard.
I think she spelled Eric wrong.
No, she didn't. Your name wasn't even mentioned.
It's
Stuart
just-
is a very nice guy, but not nice enough to make me vote for. I don't really care if anybody wanted to vote for haggis. I voted once, and I voted for myself.
That was fun. That was funny, Miss Flipper. So I literally said Stuart's beard Yogi. So she calls your beard Yogi. Is what she's saying.
I didn't even know that my beard had a name.
Yeah, it's called Yogi. Let's
Yogi's
see.
beard's too
Okay.
short. Stuart
I like
is
Stuart
long
because he
and
can take a
awesome.
joke and laugh about it.
Well, thank you, Anne. I don't get butthurt over some people. My name's not Jace.
Marie says
Hey,
Yogi's beard is
enough.
too Yogi's beard is too short. Stuart is long and awesome. This is a perfect length of a beard. You don't want something. You don't want something your enemies can tug on. Huh? Didn't think of that, did you?
The thing is, though, who says I've got enemies?
You just made a enemy of the entire goulash community, the entire online goulash community, of which there are at least 2 or 3.
Two or three. 2 or 3 of the goulash, and then you're going to take on 5.5 million people who love haggis.
Oh man, I haven't laughed out loud like that in a long time.
3 people goulash.
2 or 3. Go ahead.
Oh.
Ray says
The Ali Haggis
his
crew
beard is not
coming.
named. His beard is not named Yogi. Ann says, "Wait until I come on your panel one day." Absolutely, and that would be a lot of fun.
Vance is alright. Like I say, I can take a joke, but honestly, thank you guys. Whoever voted, thank you.
Carl says, "I've never had a beard. Always time." Marie says, "Yogi is literally an old fart."
Wait till I start braid. Once I get this thing long enough, I will be braiding it.
Jason says that anti-Haggis crew are coming still.
They'll never come up here.
Vamp says, nobody Stuart. I was joking in my clumsy way.
Jace he'll be sitting there with a munchie box crying.
Can online
That the
goulash
fact
can online goulash community be the title of your next live stream? It could be. Let me write that down. No beards are allowed where I work. Huh. I'm not sure I could work for a place.
oh,
All right. With that, I got to wrap things up. I'm going to check out our friend Skits. Ashutosh says, once I was walking my fish, then I got stuck between a cow. That's how I got the matrix of leadership. It's nonsense. It's pretty awesome nonsense, though. Says, oh man, I would have won the beard contest, but I just shaved. My bad luck. Next time, man. All right. Oh, because of the machines. That makes sense, Carl. All right. Vamp says, thanks for the lovely live and chat and a great laugh. Thank you. Thank you, Stuart. Much appreciated.
Let's say thank you very much for whoever voted for me. Thank you.
Marie will be live after this ends. So make sure you check out Marie. Make sure that you check out Skits, who's just coming up. Stuart, my friend, I will see you later.
I love you, Yogi,
Love you too, my friend.
but victory is mine.
I'm not so sure.
I'm telling you.
I am not so sure. We might have to we'll take this up again at a later date. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I had a lot of fun with you.
See you
Carl
after.
Carl says he can't go live. I'm sorry about that, Carl. Thank you,
I'll go
Ashutosh.
live at the supermarket and I will get other bits and pieces because I need to get my tea anyway.
Your tea's in the fridge.
All right.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
Bye bye. Bye, chat.